Welcome students. Today we will discuss a topic water pollution. Chapter Air and Water Pollution of class 8. Agito Academy Educational. Please like, share and subscribe the channel. Don't forget to click the bell icon so that I can send you notification for every video update. Contents of air and water pollution. Now, the first causes of water pollution, second, groundwater pollution, third, surface water pollution, fourth, ocean water pollution, fifth, point source of pollution, sixth, non point source of water pollution, seventh, turns boundary water pollution, eighth, agricultural water pollution, sewage and waste polluting water, 9 point. 10th, oil polluting water. 11th, radioactive substance polluting water. 12th, effects of water pollution. 13th, prevention of water pollution. 14th, potable water. 15th, water treatment. So today we will discuss this 15th point in this video. Next video will be of important questions and solved answers. Now look at this picture. This is related to water pollution. First, what are the causes of water pollution? Water is a universal solvent. Water is able to dissolve more substances than any other liquid on earth. It's the reason why water is so easily polluted. Toxic substances from farms, towns, and factories readily dissolve into the mix with it, causing water pollution. Now, the first is groundwater pollution. When rain falls and seeps deep into the earth, filling the cracks, curvics, and porous spaces of an aquifer, basically an underground storehouse of water. It becomes groundwater, one of our l- least visible but most important natural resources. Nearly all humans rely of groundwater pumped on to the earth's surface for drinking. For some folks in rural areas, it's their only it's their only freshwater source. Groundwater gets polluted when contaminants from pesticides and fertilizers to waste laced from landfills and septic systems make their way to underground water, rendering it unsafe for human use. Ridding groundwater of contaminants can be difficult or impossible, as well as costly. Once polluted, groundwater may be unusable for decades or even thousands of years. Groundwater can also spread contamination far from the original polluting source as it seeps into streams, lakes, and oceans. Kind attention, all students. Watch the video repeatedly and carefully to understand properly. Stay tuned for all video updates. Please comment in the comment box for all your doubts in this chapter. I will make video for all questions raised by students. Please don't skip the video, otherwise you will miss the important part. All the topics of the contents are explained very clearly. So stay tuned. Welcome students. Today we will discuss a topic, water pollution. This is the ocean water pollution. This picture. Now, ocean water pollution. 80% of ocean pollution, also called marine pollution, originates on land, whether along the coast or from far inland. Contaminants such as chemicals, nutrients, and heavy metals are carried from farms, factories, and cities by streams and rivers into our bayous and estuaries. From there, they travel out to sea. Meanwhile, marine debris or wastage, or particularly plastic, is blown in by the wind or washed in via storm drains and sewers. Our seas are also sometimes spoiled by oil spills, and lakes big and small and are consistently soaking up carbon pollution from the air. The ocean absorbs as much as a quarter of man-made carbon emissions. This is this picture related to non-point sources. There is two point no point sources and non-point sources. So this is the non-point sources. Now look at this picture. This is related to water pollution. First, What are the causes of water pollution? Water is a universal solvent. Water is able to dissolve more substances than any other liquid on earth. It's the reason why water is so easily polluted. Toxic substances from farms, towns, and factories readily dissolve into the mix with it, causing water pollution. Now, the first is groundwater pollution. When rain falls and seeps deep into the earth, filling the cracks, curvics, and pores spaces of an aquifer, basically an underground storehouse of water. It becomes groundwater, one of our l- least visible but most important natural resources. Nearly all humans rely of groundwater pumped on to the earth's surface for drinking. For some folks in rural areas, it's their only it's their only freshwater source. Groundwater gets polluted when contaminants from pesticides and fertilizers to waste laced from landfills and septic systems make their way to underground water, rendering it unsafe for human use. Ridding groundwater of contaminants can be difficult or impossible, as well as costly. Once polluted, groundwater may be unusable for decades or even. This is also the non-point source pollution. Point sources also, like city streets, forestry, car plant, animal feedlot, suburban development, like that. Now look at this picture. This is related to agricultural pollution. Not only is the agricultural sector the biggest consumer of global freshwater resources, with farming and livestock productions using about 70% of the Earth's surface water supplies, but it is also a serious water polluter. Around the world, agriculture is the leading cause of water degradation. Agricultural pollution is the top source of contamination in rivers and streams, the second biggest source in wetlands, and the third main source is lakes. It's also a major contributor of contamination to the estuaries and groundwater. Every time it rains, fertilizers, pesticides, and animal waste from farms and livestock operations was nutrients and pathogens such bacteria and viruses into our waterways. Nutrients pollution caused by excess nitrogen and phosphorus in water or air is the number one threat to what threat to water quality worldwide and can cause algae blooms, a toxic soap of blue-green algae that can be harmful to people and wildlife. These two pictures related to sewage or wastewater pollution. Sewage. Used water is wastewater. It comes from our sinks, source, and toilet. Think sewage and from commercial, industrial, and agricultural activities. Think metals, solvent, and toxic sludges. The term also includes storm water runoff, which occur when rainfall carries roads, salts, oil, grease, chemicals, and de- debris from impermeable surfaces into our waterways. More than 80% of the world's wastewater flows back into the environment without being treated or reused. In some less developed countries, the figure tops 95%. In the wastewater treatment facilities, wastewater is treated per day. These facilities reduce the amount of pollutants such as pathogens, phosphorus, and nitrogen in sewage, as well as heavy metals and toxic chemicals in industrial waste, before discharging the treated water back into waterways. That's when all goes well. But according to estimates, our nation's again and easily over well-made sewage treatment system also release untreated wastewater every year. This is the this oil pollution. This all pictures related to oil pollution. Big spills may dominate headlines, but consumers account for the vast majority of oil pollution in our seas. So this is the seas oil pollution, ocean oil pollution, including oil and gasolines that drips from millions of cars and trucks every day. Moreover, nearly half of the estimated 1 million tons of oil that makes its way into marine environments each year comes not from tanker spills but from land based sources such as factories, farms, and cities. At sea, tanker spills account for about 10% of the oil in waters around the world, while regular operations of the shipping industry through both legal and illegal discharges contribute about one third. Oil is also naturally released from under the ocean floor through fractures known as seeps. Now, these two pictures related to radioactive pollution. Radioactive substances. Radioactive waste is any pollution that emits radiation beyond what is naturally released by the environment. It's generated by uranium mining, nuclear power plants, and the production and testing of military weapons, as well as by universities and hospitals that use radioactive materials for research and medicine. Radioactive waste can persist in the environment for thousands of years, making disposal a major challenge. Consider the decommissioned nuclear weapons production site, where the cleanup of 56 million gallons of radioactive waste is expected. Accordingly, accidentally released or improperly disposed of contaminants threaten groundwater, surface water, and marine resources. This is also the picture of water pollution. Now, effects of water pollution. Diseases in humans drinking or consuming polluted water in any way has many disastrous effects on our health. It causes typhoid, cholera, hepatitis, and various other diseases. Destruction of ecosystems. Ecosystems are extremely dynamic and respond to even small changes in the environment. Water pollution can cause an entire ecosystems to collapse if left unchecked. Eutrophication. Chemical in a water body encourage the growth of algae. This algae from a layer on top of the pond or lake. Bacteria feed on this algae and this decreases the amount of oxygen in the water body, severely affecting the aquatic life there. Affects the food chain. Disruption in food chains happens when toxins and pollutants in the water are consumed by aquatic animals like fish, shellfish, etc., which are then consumed by humans. Now, this is sewage treatment process. Complete explanation. The first is raw sewage inlet chamber. Second, screening. Third, grid removal. Fourth, primary cleanfare. That primary clarifier, excess sludge, treated water tank. This is the disinfection by chlorine. Next, secondary clarifier, then aeration tank. After then that sludge thicker, sludge stables, stables, sludge stabilization and sludge drying beds. Now the prevention of water pollution. The best way to prevent large scale of water pollution is to try and reduce its harmful effects. There are various small changes we can make to protect ourselves from a scary future, and water is scarce. Save water. Conserving water is our first aim. Water wastage is a major problem globally, and we are only now walking up to the issue. Simply small changes you can make dom- domestically will make a huge difference. Better treatment of sewage. So, treatment waste protects products before disposing of it in a water body helps reduce water pollution on a large scale. Agriculture or other industries can reuse this wastewater by reducing its toxic contents. Use environmentally friendly products. By using soluble products that do not go on the become pollutants, we can reduce the amount of water pollution caused by a household. These four pictures are related to clean water. Potable water. Make your water safe for drinking with simple water purification techniques. When you go on an outdoor adventure in a place, it is possible to experience a depletion of your water supply, or probably due to some circumstances you were forced to stay outdoors longer than what you intended. Water in place are not very safe to drink, so there is a need to purify it before you drink it. Nowadays, it becomes easier to purify water. There are easy and simple way how you can purify water that you will find to make it suitable for drinking purposes. You can purify water by treating it with a chemical, either chlorine or iodine. You can also use filtration or ultraviolet light. Another simple way is to boil the water. All of these methods are effective. Ultraviolet light. Another simple way is to boil the water. All of these methods are effective provided they are done properly. Anyway, you only need to choose one method that you are more comfortable with. When you have consumed all your water supply and you have not yet re- uh, reached your target destination, you could be dehydrated and would cause further delay in reaching your des- destination. Dehydration can be prevented. Sometimes you could have been ignored or neglected the fact that you could get dehydrated. When you are dehydrated, you will experience dizziness, dry lips, headaches, and at times you become nauseous. Dehydration can lead to more severe conditions like heat stroke and heat exhaustion. This is something that you should not ignore because it could be life threatening. You need to be observant of your trail so you know where to find watering holes just in case you run out of water supply. Water in these areas are not safe for human consumption. There is a need to purify the water to make it suitable for drinking. The following are the common methods of water purification. Now, the first point, boiling. This is a reliable way to purify water. However, boiling uses fuel and could take a while. Moreover, on summer days, it is not actually applying to drink hot water. Furthermore, you will need to filter the water to remove all solid particles, especially if the water was taken from a doubtful water source. Use of iodine solution tablets or crystals. This is an effective and more convenient method. It is also available in different forms. You will surely find one that would suit your budget. It has the ability to kill virus and bacteria. They are lightweight and easy to use. However, it takes about 30 minutes before you can drink the treated water. It is also not suitable for pregnant women. In addition, it has an aftertaste that you might not like. Once you drop the tablet into the water containers, shake the containers and hold the bottle upside down and have the lid slightly uns- unscrewed to let the iodine to flow into the threads of the bottle cap. Use chlorine drops. Chlorine has the ability to kill bacteria in water. It is also lightweight, affordable, and easily accessible. You need to wait for 30 minutes before you can drink the treated water. You need to make sure not to put so many drops as it could also be poisonous if used too much. These two pictures are also related to clean water. Filtration. Use water filter. Water filters can remove bacteria in water. Carbon, on the other hand, gets rid of the chemicals and awful tastes while iodine coated screens can further remove viruses. Treated water can be consumed after the treatment and the water has no bad taste. However, they are heavier than iodine or chlorine, more costly and needs manually pumping. Also, you will need to clean the filters after the activity, and at some point you will need to replace them after treating several gallons of water. Use ultraviolet light or UV light. This looks similar to a small flashlight. You just whisked it around in the water for a few minutes and the bacteria can already be killed. This is very easy to carry with you and so easy to use. However, you will need bacteria to operate it and batteries could run out. Moreover, the solid particles in the water are not filtered. All of these are great tips and will make us stay much better because you will know how to take care of yourself. These tips can be useful while camping, hiking, and mountain climbing. Now, this is the water treatment plant. This picture related to its coagulation, sedimentation, filtration, disinfection, and the last is storage through the pipelines. Coagulation and flocculation. Coagulation and flocculation are often the first steps in water treatment. Chemicals with a positive charge are added to the water. The positive charge of these chemicals neutralize the negative charge of dirt and other dissolved particles in the water. When this occurs, the particles bind with the chemicals and form larger particles called flow. Sedimentation. During sedimentation, flow settles to the bottom of the water supply due to its weight. This settling process is called sedimentation. Filtration. Once the flow has settled to the bottom of the water supply, the clear water on top will pass through filters of varying composition like sand, gravel, and charcoal, and pore sizes in order to remove dissolved particles such as dust, parasites, bacteria, virus, and chemicals. Disinfection. Disinfection after the water has been filtrated. A disinfectant, for example, chlorine and chloramine, may be added in order to kill any remaining parasites, bacteria, and viruses, and to protect the water from germs when it is piped to homes and businesses. This picture is clarifoculator. Now, the most common types of household water treatment system consist of filtration systems. A water filter is a device which removes impurities from water by means of physical barriers, chemicals, and or biological processes. Softeners. A water softener in a device that reduces the hardness of the water. A water softener typically use sodium or potassium ions to replace calcium and magnesium ions, the ions that create hardness. Distillation systems. Distillation is a process in which impure water is boiled and the steam is collected and condensed in a separated container, leaving many of the solid contaminants behind. Disinfection. Disinfection is a physical or chemical process in which pathogenic microorganisms are deactivated or killed. Examples of chemical disinfectants are chlorine, chlorine dioxide, and ozone. Examples of physical disinfectants include ultraviolet light, electronic radiation, and heat. Thank you all students for watching the video carefully and repeatedly to understand properly. Stay tuned for all video updates. Please comment for your doubtful questions in the comment box. I will make video for all questions raised by students. Please don't skip the video else you will miss the important part. Please like, share and subscribe the video of the channel Agito Education. Don't forget to click the bell icon so that I can send you an intimations from my every latest video.